Respect it, I mean, we network across the globe, cause it's a global market in case you didn't know. And since we all about information flow, let me be the first one to welcome you to Tech Zone with Paul Amadeus Lane. Let's talk tech, cause technology changing the game. It's all good in the hood, it's everywhere. Now let's get to the show, cause we live on air, yeah.
Welcome back to the Tech Zone. Segment number 2 here. Glad you decided to come back. And don't forget, next Thursday, our Thursday coming up, which is, look at my calendar now because all days seem to run together. March the 2nd. Did I say February in the first segment of the show? I mean, March the 2nd. If I did, forgive me. But Sean's nodding his head saying, yeah, I said it. Okay, so March the 2nd, Facebook Live Reveal, YouTube Live Reveal. Go to my website, paulonwheels.com. Stay connected with me on social media because we'll be putting out posts days leading up to it. And I think you'll be very, very impressed of what we got going on, the Tech Zone with expansion. We kind of teased this in the first segment. Over $1.7 trillion in lost and pirated content. Copyright infringement. Growing up, or maybe in our neighborhood, we may know somebody who's selling some t-shirts on the corner, and we think that that's the extent of piracy of different sport teams. But no, it goes a lot deeper now, especially with the advent of the internet and technology. What if I told you there's a company out there that's helping organizations meet the goal of protecting their products, their trademarks, and everything else that goes with it? Check this out right here.
Piracy and the sale of false products over the internet is a major problem for brands and long-suffering intellectual property rights holders. Loss of income, asset devaluation, and reputation crises are just some of the major consequences associated with piracy and brand fraud. In fact, it is estimated that 1 out of every 4 online transactions involve counterfeit objects. Handbags, watches, clothes, furniture, perfume, and drugs are counterfeited and distributed over the internet with complete impunity. Furthermore, it is calculated that the value of content pirated on the internet is now in excess of 20 billion euros. Books, magazines, TV series, films, and music are all distributed en masse over the internet for free. When compared to physical channels, the internet facilitates the distribution of pirated content and multiplies the impact of damages caused to those who suffer, who are completely defenseless. Redpoints is exclusively dedicated to protecting intellectual property rights on the internet. With our multidisciplinary team of law professionals, technicians, and cybersecurity experts, we have developed bespoke technology to combat internet piracy. We offer an integral solution to piracy based on continuously monitoring the protected assets of our clients, allowing us to detect and document illegal use and content on the internet, automatically managing the deletion of large volumes of illegal content infringing the rights of our clients. The Redpoints Protection Service is managed centrally by our technology platform, which clients can use to monitor the status of all of their incidents in real time and to interact with the service. Internet piracy and fraud cannot be fought with traditional methods, so technology is the only way. Redpoints, your expert brand and internet content protection partner.
And joining me right now, all the way from beautiful Barcelona, Spain, we have Laura Urquizu joining me. Laura, how are you doing, my friend?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you.
I'm great to have you with me. Laura, we just watched the YouTube video about Redpoints, and I had no idea that this was a huge problem that it is when it comes to security and trademarks. Well, what kind of made you guys want to tackle this as a company to put this service out here?
Yeah, well, this is a terrible issue, very big issue. Many companies are facing serious problems with protecting their IP rights. And right now, I mean, in the internet, it's like 1 out of every 6 transactions involve fake products. And in the copyright is the same. I mean, movies, books, magazines, newspaper, everything is has this problem of piracy. In our company, I mean, the founder, the person that had the idea, Joseph Cole, he's a former IP lawyer. And a few years ago, he saw that this was a terrible problem. And in the internet, in the digital, things can be done like in the traditional way. I mean, you can't fight this issue with traditional lawyers. So in Red Point, we decided to design a technology, a proprietary solution that helps the companies to fight the piracy and the counterfeiting. What we do is we detect and we remove all the infringements that we find.
Wow. And the way technology is today with analytics and everything, it makes it kind of easy for you guys to do this before we started collecting analytical data. Does it make it easier for you to track people now and what they're doing when they're doing this illegal action?
Yeah, well, what we've done, yes, is we built a platform, our own platform, based in technological pieces similar to crawlers and spiders, and this is how we find the infringements in the marketplaces, in the websites where piracy is happening, and once we detect the problem, we launch some programs, automatization of mitigation of the infringements, so we can remove them. And then it's when we collect the data and we provide our clients with all the data of who is been doing the piracy, where it's been happening, how many products, everything. But yes, I mean, when we start, it's not about the data; it's about the detection. And this is how when we use our technology, and then we get the data.
So once you get the data and you give it to the companies and organizations, now is it up to them now to go and fight it legally, or do your company do the same thing? You guys can handle everything, the aspect to get people to stop from pirating their digital content.
Okay, this is a very good question, Paul, because what we do is we manage huge volumes of piracy and infringement. So what we do is we detect and we mitigate, we remove them, and then we give the companies the data. So in case they want to proceed and I mean, legal actions, they do them with their own lawyers. We don't do legal actions. We only do our work in the digital, in the internet. So we don't really proceed doing legal actions.
Awesome. So let's talk about the brands that you guys protect against. What are some of the industries who use your service? Why don't you explain some of your partners that you have out there?
Oh yeah, we are very big in sports. In Europe, we have a lot of soccer teams, and right now in the US, we are starting to talk. We're in talks with some of the teams of the basket teams, football teams, etc. But we are very big in sports. We are big in entertainment too. We have some of the majors are our clients, and from US and from Europe. We also work with fashion companies, luxury companies, design companies. We are pretty good in those verticals.
Wow. So you run the whole spectrum of different goods out there and different organizations out there. And when it comes to digital piracy, what are some of the things that they are stealing? Is it their trademark? Is it the merchandise that is being sold over the internet? And because it's over the internet now, it's kind of hard to track. Growing up, we knew some different people who were counterfeiting, like sports teams, and it was just on the corner. But now it's worldwide right now. So what are some of the things that they're doing and they're pirating right now?
Well, they pirate everything. I mean, it's a shame, but everything is counterfeited. It's from books, of course, content, copyright content, to shoes, of course, clothes and computers and automobile accessories, everything. Some of our clients are automobile accessories producers, and everything is subject of counterfeiting.
Now, to some of the things that you guys check out there with your software, are some of these things maybe life-saving? Maybe somebody's pirating like some medication or something, and because it's not being regulated right, it can cause harm to people. Is it things like that people are pirating out there too?
Yeah, and it is a problem because sometimes, and I will say many times, people don't know that they're buying fake products. So when it comes to food or drugs or any medicine, it is really harmful, and it is a problem because you don't know. It's sometimes it's so well done. They use the same pictures, they use the same brand, so you don't know you're buying fake, and this is an issue, a very big issue. This is why the brands should be very aware of what's happening and take care protecting their consumers, I mean their clients, protecting against all the harm that these products can be doing.
I'm glad you brought that up, Laura, because a lot of people are surfing the internet trying to find the best deals, especially when it comes to food or herbal supplements or whatever out there. Now, and we know that there's certain brands out there, they offer their products on several platforms, not only their website, but other ones too. How can we know as a consumer that we are buying something that the brand has approved, a brand approved site? Is there any way that we as a consumers can find it out?
There is a good tip. That is, when you find a huge discount, you may think, wow, I'm so smart. I found a great deal. Well, you probably didn't find a great deal. You probably found a fake product, because those huge discounts, when they are not, the same price is not in an official page, then it is not real. So the price is a good tip to know if it is fake or not. Also, you can see from where those products are being shipped. Because if it is not a typical country or the producer country or where the company that is offering is, there is another tip. You have to look at those.
Awesome. So we have to do our due diligence as consumers, and what's the old saying? If it's too good to be true, then it really is too good to be true. So we have to make sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about your technology that you guys use over at Red Points, because the technology that you use, you guys are able to scan this 24 hours a day to make sure things are done the right way. Let's explain and talk about that process.
Yeah, as I told you yesterday, we have a first part of the platform that scans the web all the time, and we scan very very hard the main marketplaces and the main web pages where piracy and counterfeiting is happening, and so we have a specific pieces of technology to do that and to go through those webs and to get all the infringements, to detect the infringements and take them. We use machine learning procedures. Our technology works simulating the human behavior, going through the webs like it was a human, but it is a machine working and getting all these infringements. And we also use machine learning procedures to assign certain weights to the infringements. We know that it's an infringement using algorithms that we use. And then after we're very sure that those are infringements, we launch the mitigation processes. And in those mitigation processes, what we do is to remove the infringement. And we remove not only the links, that is very easy, but we also remove the files when the files exist, or even the web pages in some cases when it is an illegal web page.
I am just blown away, Laura, by this technology. I had no idea until I ran across your company that something like this even exists. I know there's certain cybersecurity companies out there who check out the data and the infrastructure of different organizations, but this take it a step further, because now this protects their brand, their products, a lot of things that the companies don't want to have to handle themselves. So that's where you guys come in and basically take the guesswork out for them.
Right, you're right. I mean, we're very close to security, but we're more than, I would say, like a legal tech company. And there are not many legal tech companies because lawyers still, they're a traditional sector, I would say. So what we did is we decided to put technology in a legal space. So we are very close to that.
And Laura, let's talk about the loss of resources that, how much this costs companies out there when one's pirating their brands. I know on your website, you guys have like a little section that shows how much money that brands lose. It's astronomical. Let's talk about just how much money that is.
Well, it is even, we talk about 1.7 trillions of dollars in a year of all the piracy and counterfeiting in the world. And, the problem is that number is growing every year. And we can by sectors, it's amazing. In subsectors, it's 500 millions of dollars a year. And the numbers are astronomical.
And Laura, I call this the dark side of technology because we all love technology. We love our smartphones. We love our video games. We love our Netflix. We love our Hulu. We love all the great things. But this is kind of like the dark side of it. And this is where your organization, Red Points, come in to try to make brands safe out there, to make sure that ones are not gaming the system or even cheating them. But let's talk about your team again, the experts that you've put together in this company to achieve this objective of keeping companies safe out there with their trademarks and with their merchandise. It's just not one person on a laptop is doing this. You have a diverse team over there at Red Points, don't you?
Right. We are almost 60 people now, and most of the people, we combine technological people. We have a team of almost 20 developers with our CTO, Juan, that they are developing continuously all the system and making the platform bigger and bigger. Then we have also analysts, experts, that they know everything about piracy and about counterfeiting, and they keep on seeing that the system is performing well, making sure that we are finding, the platform is finding the right infringements, and also looking further, where the piracy is going, new sites, new websites, new marketplaces. Then we have a legal team that also decides the strategy for every company, because when a company comes on board and is our client, first, when we do the onboarding and we put all the data in the platform, we advise them on what are the products that they should protect more, which ones we should focus everything, because we do a previous audit for every company to tell them is how much piracy they have and which are the main articles, in which ones we should focus, and even in which markets, So we also have, and of course we have a sales team, but in total we are like almost 60 people now.
Wow. And as a CEO, you got to make sure you keep your finger on the pulse of everything and find out the ever evolving threats out there, because threats can evolve every day. We may think we've got one under control, but then something else seems to pop up. And talk about that challenges to make sure that you're always abreast of things out there, of the different threats out there.
Yeah, well, what we usually say is that some of us, we are every day fighting in the battle. So we know how the piracy and the counterfeiting is evolving. We know the new tricks that they are. We know the new marketplaces. We know the new techniques. So we can predict where piracy and counterfeiting is going to happen in the next period of time. At least because we are there fighting the battle every day.
Absolutely. And how can ones find out more information about Red Points?
Very good. Okay, we have a website which is redpoints.com, as you know, and of course, if someone is interested we have a lot of content over there. We have a lot of papers, and you can look, and of course, if they want us to talk to you, just contact us through the web or call us or send us a mail, and we will be very happy to tell you more about the company
And
and about solution, of course, and the services and how we can help you.
there you go. And I also love that they can sign up for your newsletter and keep abreast of a lot of things. And Laura, it's been an honor talking to you. You know, I love how technology is all about diversity. You know, you're from Spain, I'm from the United States. Throughout the world, we all come together for the common good of technology and to keep people safe and to inform people of the threats out there. And I really, really appreciate talking to you and you sharing information about the company. And we'd love to have you back on again. And before I let you go too, I always like to ask this of some of my guests. Were you always into technology, or was it something that you kind of fell into as you got older? Or were you always like a tech person?
Okay, so yeah, this was 15 years ago that I just came into technology very deeply. Helping tech companies, working in the technological ecosystem, being in the board of directors of some technological companies, investing and driving teams in technological companies, and finally involved totally with Red Points, being the CEO, and to drive this company to be the leader of the fight against piracy and counterfeiting in the whole world.
Awesome. So 15 years ago. So you were 5 years old. That is awesome. You were 5 years old when you got into it.
A little bit more.
That's awesome. Laura, great talking to you. We'd love to have you back on again and see what your company is doing. I think this is amazing. It's incredible. And take care of yourself. It was really an honor to talk to you.
Well, thanks to you, Paul. It was my pleasure.
Wow. Great information. Laura Urquizu, thank you so much for joining us from Red Points. And were you aware of everything that goes on when it comes to piracy? You know, I wasn't. I thought I'm the czar of technology, Sean, and I didn't even know that. But we thank Laura for joining us and sharing some great insight. You heard it in our theme song of the Tech Zone. It's worldwide. It's global. Technology is global. It's inclusive, not exclusive. A lot of diversity, a lot of smart ideas. Imagine if all that was snuffed out. Wouldn't make any sense, would it? All right. We'll be right back here on the Tech Zone. We'll be talking about things going on in the technical world. Some of the great ones you should know about out there. And just some great information of where we're going in with technology with my great friend Jeff Joseph from the Consumer Technology Association. Speaking about worldwide, they're everywhere. CES Asia is coming up. Will you see me there? Perhaps. That's all I have to say. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane. We'll be back in 2 and 2 here on the Tech Zone.